Is up, everybody? Today I have a special message for you. You probably heard me talk a lot about what's coming up, and I'll discuss that too. But today I'm going to show you how somebody lost 130 pounds, and we have their testimonial for you. You are not going to want to miss this, and we'll start it right after this intro.
Have you ever said to yourself, I know what to do, so why don't I do it? My name is Luke Rangel, and you are not alone. In fact, the gap of knowing and doing is the largest gap the human race faces. So how do we get to the other side? Well, it's not by joining program after program telling us the same things we already know. The way we go from knowing to doing comes from within, and this podcast will show you how to do that. Welcome to Transformation Secrets, and after this episode, don't forget to subscribe and grab some free bonus content over at transformationsecretspodcast.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. And yes, welcome to Transformation Secrets. Today we are discussing someone who lost 130 pounds. And so here's a picture of her. So if you're listening to this on the podcast, go to Facebook or YouTube, whatever, wherever it may be, and let's check out this crazy picture. That is 270 plus pounds to 130 pounds. So she lost 130 pounds and she weighs 130 pounds. She literally lost herself. And it all started with a challenge. So if you are crazy and have not signed up for our 21-day challenge that starts Monday, go to 8 to 12 pounds down.com, or you can find it on transformationsecretspodcast.com. But today is special because we have an interview with her, and she explained exactly how she lost this weight, what she did, what a day looks like on how she eats, and how her mindset has shifted. And she's going to explain it step by step on how you can lose the weight as well. So without further introduction, here is Daniella. All right, everybody. I want to welcome Daniella. If you've been following us for a while, you have definitely seen her face. But if you haven't, you are in for a treat because she is currently down over 130 pounds. And so, well, I'm just going to bring it up to Daniella because she has way more information than I do that could help you out. So, Daniella, you came to us in 2018. And so I just want you to kind of share where you started from. What have you always been someone who worked out? How, like, what happened a few years before you even met us?
Hi. So, yeah, yes, I came to you guys in 2018. So, just a quick backstory. I started at about, officially, I think it was like 265, 270, but I'm pretty sure I had been heavier prior to. And I had started on my own in 2015, trying to just kind of lose weight, get healthy. Just won't go too far into detail because I've talked about it many times before, but my grandpa passed away in 2015, and it basically scared me. It scared me into getting healthy, or trying to get healthy. And so that's where my real health journey began. I joined a gym, just regular corporate gym, hired a trainer that was once a week for 30 minutes. Nothing major, but it was just once a week for 30 minutes. 30 minutes in the week doesn't really do a whole lot, but it did, get me motivated, keep me motivated. So in 2018, I was referred to Luke as an Anatomy Fitness. I started my health journey with Anatomy Fitness and doing in-person training.
So, we'll get there. I kind of want to dig in a little bit into the backstory a little bit, as much as you want to go. So you said you got started because of the grandpa. So I assume he died from kind of health related issues.
He did. He had, as long as I can remember, he was diabetic. I was super young when we found out, and I'll be honest, I didn't really know what that meant. I just knew that he poked his finger with the needle every day to check his blood, and I didn't know what that meant. So to me, it wasn't really a scary thing until he started getting complications. He had kidney failure. He started having to do in-home dialysis. For 7 years, he lived like that. He lived his life doing in-home dialysis, and his health was just deteriorating because all of this stemming from diabetes, which was food related. It was just, honestly, as terrible as it sounds, it was self-induced illness. There's 100% preventable. And I felt like if I didn't do anything, that was going to happen to me, and I wasn't going to let that happen to me, just kind of in his honor, I guess.
Yeah. No, that's awesome that you kind of you realize that and that you could take care of it. And it's always tougher, especially if you grow up with it. It kind of becomes the norm. You just think like, oh, everybody has diabetes. Like it's something that we live with. Um, so does everybody? So you have siblings. How does other people in your family have diabetes too? Does it kind of like run in the family?
It does. My grandma's diabetic. My mom is diabetic. My older sister's diabetic. Both of my sisters actually have been diabetic. One was just during her pregnancy, but she's okay now. Uh, but yeah, everybody, I'll be honest, most everybody in my family has some sort of health issues, related to or stemming from nutrition. I feel stemming from nutrition. So it is definitely the norm.
Yeah. Okay. So props to you for getting started. You started with a trainer, even once a week. Even though it's once a week, at least it's more than what most people do. And like you said, you can't really see results trying hard for 30 minutes a week, but
No.
but what it did is it kept you motivated to keep going. And then yeah, we were introduced in 2018. And then so what kind of happened? What happened from there?
So from there, I've always been a person that likes structure and I need accountability. So for me, that was just basically what you provided was, and I remember very vividly, your sales pitch was accountability is my specialty. So if accountability is what you need, accountability is what will get you. And from the beginning, I knew that that was going to be true because if I know somebody's waiting for me, then I know, or if I know I have to report to somebody, basically, I'm there. So that's where it started. I started doing in person training twice a week for an hour, dying for an hour at a time. But
Uh-huh.
it kept me motivated. It kept me motivated to just get my body moving, build stamina, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. And then we transitioned to a larger facility, and 2019 came, which is my favorite year of your journey, because you started doing boot camps and you worked out 6 days a week doing a boot camp, plus 3 days a week one-on-one training. Plus, on top of that, you did like Zumba and hikes and all that. So you were an extremely active person. So how were your results with all that activity in 2019?
2019 was nuts. My body felt it. It was 11 hours a week. I counted 11 hours a week. Hard, hard workouts. These are not easy workouts by any means. They're fun, but they are not easy. And from January to November, I lost 15 pounds. 15 pounds in 11 months. Great because my clothes was fitting smaller, but when you look down at the scale and that's what you see in that length of time, it's so demoralizing, I guess, because and everybody around you knows that you're working hard, but it's not showing in the numbers, which is just when you're starting and when you're still over 200 pounds, those numbers matter. Those numbers definitely matter.
Yeah, yeah. So you started at 230 pounds in January, then got to 215. And some people might be thinking, when they heard that, might be thinking, yeah, 15 pounds, but you have to realize like that's like 1 point something pounds a month with so much effort being put in.
A
Um,
lot of effort.
and we still had like eighty
A
pounds more
lot.
to lose.
Yeah.
um, so in November, that's kind of when we talked, and I said, honestly, I kept telling you, I was like, you need to work out less and use that time to focus on nutrition. uh,
Yep.
so that's what we did. Well, you didn't work out less until the shutdown, but I said, all right, we're going 100% on nutrition. I don't want you really to think about anything else because you show up, you're going to work out, that part's taken care of. Just focus all your energy on nutrition. And then so we go into 2020, and great news, the world shuts down. So literally all we could focus on nutrition. So what happened in 2020?
So 2020 started off great. I had already hit under 200 pounds. So
199.
199, which was big. It was huge. Uh, so I was already like full 2020 was just nutrition based. March, I believe, was the last boot camp that was in person. And it was so, I was like, I didn't know what to do with myself, but it was kind of like, okay, we're going. This is all or nothing. I didn't really have a choice but to go back. I couldn't go back. So it was just all nutrition. I was forced, as you said, to work out less. So which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but I just fell in love with the fitness part of it. So to me it was like different, but it was just all nutrition, just making sure that every single time I was just getting my goals, whatever I needed to do, really, really focusing and honing in on all the foods, like what was going into my body, and it wasn't even like I felt deprived or anything. It was just knowing what I was eating. I don't really eat out very much. I'd rather make my food at home. Because that way at least I know what I'm eating. I'm not, you know, trusting that they're doing the right portions, trusting that they're, cooking with the same things that I would cook with. And just your body feels so different when you eat out versus when you eat at home, I think.
Yeah, yeah. It's I think I forgot the quote. It's like you don't know how good you feel, how, or like I forgot. You don't know how bad you feel until you start feeling good, or something like that.
Exactly. Exactly.
So what were your result? You might did you say it? How much did you lose in 2020 alone?
I don't remember. It's a lot. I want to say it was something like 60 pounds.
I
In
believe it
No,
was 75 pounds.
75. You're right, 75, because I was trying to find the picture because I did take a picture. But yes, it was 75 in 2020, which is insane because what I couldn't do in 5 years happened in 1 year by itself. And I don't want to say with no effort, but no extra physical effort. It was just mainly, you know, getting my mind right, getting my mind around taking care of what I'm eating, because that's all it is. It's just nutrition. No matter how much you work out, it's not going to make a difference if what you're eating does not match it. And that is 100% proven by 2019.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And I think you hit it right on the nail when you said it didn't take any extra effort. Like what I always try to tell people is like it like when I say like it's lifting a donut to your mouth takes as much effort as lifting an apple to your mouth, right?
Yep.
It's just about being intentional and learning, which what we're going to cover so much in this 21-day challenge, just the very basics of nutrition, so you could use those habits for the rest of your life. Awesome. So moving forward, so you're down 75 pounds in 2020 alone. You're in the 130s now, right?
Believe it.
Have you ever weighed 130 pounds in your life?
I don't know, maybe elementary, middle school. I remember in middle school when they made you do that embarrassing scoliosis test and they made you weigh yourself in front of everybody. I want to say it was probably like 140 something
Uh-huh.
in middle school. I want to say that's like seventh grade. So, I mean, I'm 36, gonna be 37. So, easily 25 years ago.
Yeah. So we just the belief alone on that, like, so pretty much grew up overweight your whole life.
Yeah.
It sounds like like so when you very first started your journey, and so 270 pounds, what would you say your goal was? Were you one of those people that were like, I want to get to 200, but I'll be happy at 220? Or like, what would you say?
So, I didn't weigh myself until about 2 months after I started training with you. So that's why I'm still very unsure on where my starting weight is, because I refuse to believe it. I just went off of my driver license. My driver license said 250. That's what I weighed. And unfortunately, that was not true. So I definitely was that person. I would have never imagined myself under 200. I would have probably been happy to match my driver's license to actually
Mhm.
be at that weight and just be fine with it. And it just, once you get to a certain point, it's just kind of like, okay, no, even till recently, because we were stuck at 240 for a while. So even until recently, I'm sorry, 140. I had trouble imagining myself in the 130s. I was like, okay, this is just as far as we're going. This is where it's staying. And it's crazy. It's really, really crazy. I definitely would not have envisioned, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. And then so how did you break out of those 140s? Wasn't it like a 21-day challenge or something like that?
It was I just recently in the month of January, I just finished. I actually this is my first week off of it. Uh I had hit 139, quickly went back up, and then stayed in the 140s for another 3 weeks. Uh, and then the 21-day power challenge, just sticking to all power foods, which is all the hypoallergenic food that is just not going to cause bloating, was a lot easier than I expected it to be honest with you. But that's what did it. That got me to the 130s, kept me in the 130s, and that's where I'm living right now, which is insane. I
Yeah. Oh,
literally lost half of my weight.
yeah. Yeah, you lost yourself.
Yeah,
You lost 130 pounds and you weigh 130 pounds.
crazy.
So how did you start, like, what happened where you started believing you could get to the next step and you could get to the next step? Like, was it just by going, like, seeing little results here and there, and then just it kept your vision kept going a little bit farther? Did any incidents happen or mindset things?
I don't think it was incidents. What happened? Well, yes, an incident. I met you guys, but I mean, but it really was just mindset because I've always been positive. I've always been a positive person and just always have kept like, okay, if this is what I have to do, this is what I have to do. I just kind of, I don't want to say follow the leader, but you guys are the experts, so I'm just gonna listen and take it in. And once you started doing like the mindset training, like as far as like these little tips and tricks, and just kind of like, okay, maybe think about it, like you said, being intentional, just think about stuff, just kind of put perspective. Everybody has choices. So once I started really delving into that, I think that's where it kind of started to change, where it was like, okay, maybe this is possible, maybe this is something that can go further and further and further. And it was just constantly having you in my ear, and then also other people in my ear saying, we're going to get here, we're going to do this is the next goal. Just constantly pushing yourself to get better, and as opposed to just settling, especially when the results really started to show up. It was just kind of like, okay, I hit the 170s. All right, cool, celebrate for 5 minutes, and then 160s. And so it was just, it was really just, I feel like a team effort, but not just like with you, but like with everybody. And it was just very community goal. I think it was just like everybody's rooting for me. So that's how I felt anyway.
Yeah, and no, that's awesome. And you gave one key tip, or that probably people just kind of overlook, but you're always a positive person. Like, even if you're struggling with your weight, you're still smiling, you're still positive. And that's one personality trait that we see in the most successful people is, like, when you run into trouble, like, you have to stay positive about it. If you go straight to the negative zone, like, that's when the emotions and everything kind of comes out.
Disaster.
Um, yeah. And then so I think everyone would love to hear. So you lost 75 pounds in 2020. What does, like, a typical day of eating for someone who wants to lose 75 pounds this year? Uh, what's like a typical day for eating for you?
So this morning I went and I did my workout, and I don't eat anything before, just because I work out so early. But the first thing I do right after is I take my shake with me, and I had my chocolate rebuild Herbalife shakes, freaking amazing. I usually eat about 3 hours later. So then I just had egg whites, veggies, and raspberries because I wanted something sweet. For lunch, I had chicken breast stuffed with cheese, spinach, green beans, zucchini, and salad. And it was huge. Like, I eat a lot. People get surprised at how much I eat, but I eat a lot. Um, After that, when I got back to work, like, again, like 2.5, 3 hours later, I had an Herbalife cookies and cream shake. Amazing. Tastes like ice cream, literally, because I just put so much ice in it. And then in the evening for dinner, we're gonna have just air fried chicken thighs with barbecue sauce, steamed white rice, steamed veggies, just super good food, solid food.
Yeah.
a
No,
lot.
yeah. So you had shakes, you had fruit, you had chicken, you have rice, and very like one thing that hopefully people are getting from all these other testimonials is just how simple it is. You don't need to cut anything out. You're having carbs, which most people are scared of, but carbs are absolutely amazing. And you're just eating food.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just don't want to overcomplicate. So that's amazing. It's amazing.
And the another thing is I eat chicken, and I know a lot of people always say chicken, chicken, whatever. I eat chicken because that's my preference, but there's days when I can eat like a lean ground beef or I'll do like something else, but I just prefer chicken. Like that's just my personal preference.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's awesome. And then, so if there was somebody brand new, they've tried 100 different programs already, keep losing and gaining the same 10 pounds. What can you tell them to help them believe that this time it will be different, that they can lose all the weight that they want to lose?
Just believe in yourself. Just believe in yourself and do try very, very hard because it really is, and especially at the beginning, it's all just getting your mind around it, just wrapping your mind around you can do it. This is not something that has to always be up and down. You guys, anatomy helps with all the mindset training. Like if you plug in, if you listen, if you pay attention, if you put in are willing to put in not only the work as far as like nutrition goes, um, and doing the workouts just to make you feel good, but mainly just getting to know yourself so that you can make yourself believe that this is possible. It is possible because it is. That's
Yeah,
that's all it is, just mind stuff.
you're living proof, down 130 pounds and still getting more results. Just crushing it, just crushing it. So, well, thank you, Daniela, as always, for sharing your story. You're a huge inspiration, not only to people that want to lose weight, but even to people like me, instructors. Any
Thank you.
final thoughts?
No, just do it.
You heard the lady, just do it. So, what I want you to do if you watch this, write down your takeaways down below in the comment thread. But the biggest takeaway for myself, and that I always like to teach, is if you heard her say in 2019, she did 6 boot camps a week, plus trained with me in person 3 times a week, plus did workouts on top of that. Like she was exercising like crazy and only lost 15 pounds all year from 230 pounds to 215 pounds. 15 pounds may be great if you only have 15 pounds to lose, but for someone that still needed to lose 100 pounds, like it sucks. It sucks. And so what happened was she stopped focusing on the exercise because exercise has nothing to do with weight loss. So many benefits to it, but it has nothing to do with weight loss. And she focused 100% on the nutrition, the same exact nutrition plan we give in our 21-day challenge that starts Monday. And then, of course, we customize it even more for those that join our customized program after. So if you are ready to get started, to get the best results ever, and just to start, the 21-day challenge is the best place. It's only $47. Go to 8 to 12 pounds down.com because you will lose your first, your next, or your last 8 to 12 pounds in your first 21 days. So go there now, and I will see you guys inside of our challenge